In the hallowed halls of Gotham City Museum, millionaire Bruce Wayne is personally supervising the placement of the world-famous Maharaja Ruby.
Maharaja Ruby ruled over the Punjabi region of India from 1784 to 1821. His region had been battling with a neighbor for close to a century, but he was able to bring peace in 1812 when he went out to a battle area himself, unarmed, and asked to talk cooperation. The leader of his opponents was so moved by this gesture that he ordered an end to all hostilities and declared the war over. He presented the Maharaja with this ruby to commemorate the bold move, which came to be known as the 1812 Overture.
Magnificent, isn't it?
Sure is, Mr. Wayne. What do I do with this?
Bruce didn't order anything, and there's something peculiar inside.
A statuette of the penguin. How did... Oh.
By the way, the penguin's a smoker, remember? And sometimes he's not too careful where he's blowing it. He'll take the ruby and millionaire Bruce Wayne as a hostage in case Batman shows up.
You know, this is one of those disappointing moments in crime, Biz. Here I see the city's most valuable possession and her wealthiest millionaire, and there are no witnesses to give me credit where it's due.
Don't be too sure about no witnesses, my fine feathered friend.
Hello, Catwoman. I like the green outfit. I'm not sure what the accent is supposed to be, but I have a feeling there'll be more opportunities to study it. She plants a map on the penguin figurine for Batman to find. Hold on, play that again. That's Batman driving the car and running into the building. I guess Bruce got away, huh? But it's Robin in Gordon's office. Ain't reusable footage great? So where is Batman? Gordon would like to know.
Well, you see, he's out of town on a special case. I'll just have to handle this alone.
He won't, because Barbara Gordon is standing right there and knows he's going to need help. And by the way, Robin, instead of all you have to say is, I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you.
Meanwhile, the peace and quiet of Rest Haven Cemetery is shattered by the arrival of a copter full of crooks.
His hideout is under a fake grave. Catwoman is watching his every move.
Take Wayne down below. We'll hole up here until it's time to rendezvous with the yacht.
Something I've always wanted to know. In the old James Bond movies, for example, we have somebody who's built a gigantic complex in the middle of somewhere and they're going to take over the world or destroy the world or whatever. We have Blofeld with his big thingy in Japan, Stromberg with his underwater city, Hugo Drax with his enormous space center. Here we have Penguin with this big complex under a cemetery of all places. How do they build these things without anybody noticing? Where do you build a ship big enough to gobble up a super tanker and nobody else on the planet saw it happening? How do you dig a big series of tunnels under a graveyard and nobody notices? Where do you put the dirt? How do you get it out? Actually, I can't believe I'm asking about that. I saw The Great Escape. And how much creepy stuff came crashing down on your heads because you got too close to where they actually put somebody? And how do you build that without anybody asking questions?
This is it. Now what?
Now they know you're coming, and Penguin has the perfect greeting for you.
What's that? Robin!
Oh!
I'm here to rescue you, Mr. Wayne. How am I doing? Penguin's plan isn't very original, but it should be effective.
Great guns! The walls are closing in on us.
Holy nutcracker! How do we get out of this?
They don't get out of it. Someone gets them out. Guess who?
Never send a boy Robin to do a Batgirl's work.
What happened?
I don't know, but I'm not knocking it.
Of course he's not knocking it. Bruce Wayne would never hit a lady.
Batgirl, what are you doing here?
Most recently, saving your butt. You're welcome. She's bummed that the Penguin got away while she was doing so. She knew she should have gone after the bad guy instead of rescuing this snotty little brat.
Would you drop me off at Wayne Manor, please, Robin?
Sure thing, sir. Batgirl, you wait for me on Pier 6. And keep the yacht in sight. I'll get Batman and the Batboat and pick you up.
I'll be waiting.
Bruce remembered the Penguin saying he was going to meet a yacht, so they're following that thread. Penguin is already there.
Ahoy, Captain! Hoist your mizzenmast! Scuttle the poop deck! Cut your jib!
Nautical talk. Though if the captain follows those orders, there's no telling where they might end up, if anywhere.
It's time to feed the kitty.
No, no!
I'll take this purloined precious.
You felonious feline! Don't think you're going to get away with that!
Hit the deck!
Where does it store all those bullets? Up his sleeve, of course. Duh.
What's happening here? What's happening to my head?
I was wondering who was going to do that and when, though I am glad we went to the extra effort of establishing from the first shot that the net was there and they were standing on it, apparently unaware. I've noticed that this series pays attention to little things like that. I appreciate it.
I'm glad you're back in time for the fun, Batman.
So am I, for more than one reason.
Is he hitting on her? No time for that now. There's a big catamaran bearing down on them and it doesn't seem to notice them. Good thing it's just a near miss.
Let us down!
First, Penguin, hand over the ruby.
Too late, Batman! That pilfering pusillanimous pussycat stole it from me, and if I ever get...
The Catwoman.
We've got to find her.
But where do we start?
Of course. She was in the catamaran.
The what?
Oh, come on. She was in the Batboat with them when they were talking about it and called it by name. Was that really necessary? All he has to say is, it makes perfect sense that the Catwoman would use a boat called a catamaran. You've told the younger viewers what a catamaran is, and you haven't made Batgirl look like a bimbo.
That boat we almost collided with is called a catamaran, or cat for short.
The Batboat can outrun a catamaran any day, so catching her shouldn't be difficult.
Let's go.
Hey, wait! What about us?
Hang around a while, Penguin. We'll be back for you later.
Or they can call the Harbor Patrol to come collect you. We won't see what happens there. We're more interested in Catwoman. Let's face it, guys. If you had to decide whether to chase her or the Penguin, is there really a question?
If she spots us, she'll make a run for it.
Right, Batgirl, you take the wheel. Robin, into the bat scuba gear. Come on.
How fast do you think you can swim underwater? Never mind, their tanks have propellers. Why don't I have a tank like that?
I get $1 million ruby. The Penguin takes the rap. The Boy Wonder is finished. And Batman is nowhere in sight. Did you ever notice how fast time passes when you're having fun?
How about sharing the fun with us, pussycat?
All the Bat scuba gear is biodegradable, so when they're done with it, they just let it drop to the bottom. They can afford to make more.
Get them in, quickly!
Go, Robin, go.
Go, Robin, go! Show 'em what you know!
A perfect time for me to leave.
A better move would be to have a small launch boat handy to get away in, because without some kind of help, there's no way she's going to outrun Batgirl in the Batboat.
I've always meant to ask you, Catwoman, who does your hair?
His name is Squiddly Diddly. He's also a musician. Kids in 1968 would have gotten that joke.
Oh, Mr. Wayne. Glad to see you're none the worse for your experience with the Penguin.
Never better, Miss Gordon. Thanks to Robin.
And Batgirl.
Of course.
Excuse me, please.
Dick, does she remind you of someone we know?
Yeah. She sort of looks like... Oh, no, it couldn't be.
But it is. Miss Gordon, you look exactly like the teller at the bank that Dick has such a crush on. You promised you'd never tell anybody about that.
All right, Atomaniacs. Time is short and we have 3 tasks to complete. First, I need you to hit that like button. Use your Batarang if you have to, but hit it. Second, this is Irving. If you haven't subscribed yet, give him a good punch in the face and do it. Third, go to the link below and become a patron. It really helps the cause because you wouldn't believe how much Robin eats. And how much creepy stuff came crapping...
how much creepy stuff came crapping down on your heads. Yes, indeed.